Welcome back to the Explainer. Today, we're taking our basic web scraping workflow and completely transforming it into a massive, production-grade system. We're going to use an incredibly powerful framework called Scrapy. Now, we've already covered the basics of fetching raw HTML and parsing data, right? Well, today, it's time to level up and build a truly scalable operation. Let's get into it.
But first, we really have to ask a fundamental question here. Why do we even need a completely separate framework? I mean, we already know how to fetch pages with requests, and we know how to parse them with beautiful soup, so why bother learning a whole new system from scratch?
Honestly, it all comes down to scale. Using those simpler tools for, say, 1,000,000 pages, well, it's kind of like trying to empty a swimming pool with a teaspoon. They're totally fine for just a handful of pages, but once you hit that massive scale, you run into really complex challenges. We're talking about managing concurrent requests, handling server failures, storing data reliably. It gets messy. Scrapy, on the other hand, was built from the ground up to solve exactly those problems and to do it at rocket speed.
So here's how we're going to break down this explainer today. We'll start by moving beyond basic web scraping. Then we'll explore the core Scrapy spider. After that, we'll cover structuring and processing data. We'll tackle the absolute must-know ethics and scraping rules. And finally, we'll wrap up by looking at a real-world professional use case.
All right, starting with Section 1, Beyond Basic Web Scraping. Let's dive right in and see exactly what makes this framework such an industrial-grade machine.
You see, Scrapy isn't just another simple library. It's a complete, incredibly well-organized framework. Instead of forcing you to manually assemble some fragile script piece by piece, writing your own error handling, your own retry logic, building data structures totally from scratch, Scrapy just gives you this cohesive, production-ready system right out of the box. It's a huge time saver. And the real secret to Scrapy's insane speed? It's the built-in asynchronous system. So instead of fetching one page, sitting around waiting for it, and then finally moving to the next one, Scrapy just juggles the whole request and response cycle asynchronously. This means it can fire off a massive number of concurrent requests all at exactly the same time. You literally save an incredible amount of time. Moving on to Section 2, the core Scrapy spider. This right here is the absolute heart of the entire operation. So what is a spider? Well, it's essentially just a Python class that dictates exactly how to scrape a specific website. Think of it kind of like your automated scout. It tells the framework exactly where to start crawling and precisely how to interpret and extract whatever it finds along the way.
And building one is actually beautifully logical. First, you just define a Python class that inherits from scrapy.spider. You give it a unique identifying name, and then you just provide a list of starting URLs. After that, you write a parse method, and you use Scrapy's familiar built-in selectors to extract exactly the data you want from every single page of visits.
But here is the spider's true superpower. It doesn't just scrape one page and stop. By yielding entirely new request objects directly from inside that parse method, the spider can automatically follow links. So it can discover that next page button, yield a new request, and just systematically crawl through an entire website all on its own.
Now, gathering all those raw materials is fantastic, but we really need a standardized way to package them up, right? That brings us to Section 3, Structuring and Processing Data.
Instead of just returning loose, unstructured Python dictionaries, which, let's be honest, get incredibly messy very quickly, we use Scrapy items. These items give us a highly structured way to define precisely what fields we want to extract, things like a product name or a price. They act exactly like standardized shipping containers for your data, making sure everything stays safe and totally consistent across your whole project. Once those items are packed up into their neat little containers, they head straight to the processing plant. First, the item is scraped. Then the data is cleaned, validated, and finally, it's saved right to a database. All of these distinct sequential steps are handled by what we call pipelines. Pipelines are basically sequential Python classes that catch each and every scraped item and carefully route it through that exact workflow.
Of course, with all this immense automated power comes a really critical need for responsibility. So let's look at Section 4, Ethics and Scraping Rules.
The absolute golden rule of the web is pretty simple. You must always respect a site's robots.txt file. This specific file dictates exactly which parts of a website automated crawlers are actually permitted to access. And the really good news here, Scrapy actually includes built-in support to just automatically respect these rules for you.
If you want to be a good internet citizen, always remember this. Professional scraping fundamentally means ethical scraping. So, before you write a single line of code, make sure you check the terms of service, respect those robots.txt exclusions, and absolutely adhere to privacy laws regarding personal data. Also, it is super important to use Scrapy's built-in rate throttling. Throttling just ensures your scraper plays nice and doesn't accidentally crash the target servers with a million rapid-fire requests.
All right, let's bring all these incredible components together into a real-world scenario. Section 5, the professional use case.
Imagine for a second that you're tasked with building a comprehensive, ongoing price comparison service. You need a robust system that regularly crawls multiple e-commerce competitors, smoothly follows pagination across literally thousands of product pages, and then reliably extracts highly accurate, up-to-date pricing.
This is exactly where that whole assembly line metaphor we've been talking about perfectly clicks into place. Your spiders systematically navigate each site to find the goods. Then, your items maintain a really strict, well-structured data format. And finally, your pipelines process and safely save that data directly into your database. It's just one big, cohesive, automated machine.
Oh, and there's a fantastic bonus feature built right in. If you just need your data in a flat file, Scrapy lets you easily export your scraped items directly to CSV or JSON formats using just a simple command line flag. Honestly, this completely saves you from having to write custom export code entirely from scratch.
And the real beauty of that easy export is what happens next. Your freshly scraped, highly structured data can now seamlessly transition right into a Pandas data frame. You can just load it straight in and immediately begin doing detailed statistical analysis or data visualization. It's incredibly powerful.
Well, we have covered an absolutely incredible amount of ground today. In our next explainer, we'll actually tackle how to handle dynamic websites that load content using JavaScript. We'll be using a really cool tool called Selenium for that. But for now, with this amazingly powerful framework right at your fingertips, what are you going to build? And more importantly, will you do it ethically? Keep exploring, have fun with it, and I will see you in the next explainer.